Welcome staff, parents, special guests, and fellow graduates. Thank you for all coming to celebrate us on this strange but special day. I also need to give a very special welcome to all of you watching this at home. Know how much your actual physical presence is missed here with us today, because this graduating class would not be where we are without our incredible friends, family, and community. Etonia has always made sure to support the school and students wherever it was possible, and so I know without a doubt there are many watching this right now. When there was a sporting event, whether it was in Etonia or away, we could always count on seeing members of the community there and aggressively cheering us on. Band concerts would always be full, and not to mention the numerous local businesses that have donated to the school to help with a variety of projects. It makes us sad that we are not able to have everyone here today, but we appreciate the continual support that has been given to us for years. This has influenced the people we have become. Hannah covered it well in her speech, but I would also like to thank the parents. It is because of them we grew up to be the adults we are today. I would like to thank my parents for always being there for Max, Hannah, and I. You have taught me to work hard, help others, and clean like a proper German should. I hope one day I am able to show you how truly grateful I am for all the love, support you have given Hannah and I throughout our childhood and into our adult life. As a class, we have had an interesting journey at Eaton School. Most of us started kindergarten together, but we had a few additions, had a few kids move away, and had a few come back. When we were in middle school, we were known as the bad class. For some reasons, teachers would often leave the school after teaching us. It started with Mr. Oscar, our very first principal. It was the day after he met Hannah and I for our kindergarten interview that Mr. Oscar announced his resignation from Eaton School and a new job in Kindersley. Because most of us are pretty good at math, we noticed early on that a pattern had begun. Miss Luptak, Mrs. King, Ms. Rishko, Miss Bowes, Mr. Sutherland, Miss Van Nest, Patty, and even Mr. Fisher. A year or two with us, and we knew you had a resignation letter sitting in your draft box. A special thanks to Mrs. King for bravely coming back to face us, and to Mr. Holt for never leaving us, although we're sure you probably thought about it. Fortunately, as we grew older and matured, we all became more passionate towards learning and being involved in sports and music. Our class could always be counted on to volunteer for working and setting up events and being very involved in all aspects of the school. Thank you, staff, for being patient with our class, teaching us important knowledge, and being willing to coach, supervise, and take extra time out of your day to help us whenever we needed. I know that the past 3 months of online education was not the easiest for you either, and we appreciate the work you all put into making it as easy on us as possible. All this leads us to today, a day when our successes and accomplishments are celebrated. Success is something that everyone desires, especially when we, as graduates, are looking towards our futures. The author, Stephen Richards, says, "The true measure of success is how many times you can bounce back from failure." I would like to add to this not only failure, but obstacles as well. My Uncle Mike once set me straight in an interesting conversation where he told us not to follow our dreams. Now, that sounds contrary to every grad speech you may have heard, so let me explain. He said, follow your ambitions and be prepared to do the hard work to get there. Part of that hard work is getting up after you fail and figuring out how to go through an obstacle. He was right. The very fact that we're standing outside this gym rather than inside demonstrates the importance of that wisdom. Success is not something that comes easily, and it is these failures and bumps in the road that our success has become so much sweeter. Speaking of bumps in the road, after I turned 17, I finally decided that it was time to get my license, instead of letting Hannah and Quinn drive me around everywhere. During my first driver's test, first being the key word there, I may have got a few too many points. Although I was disappointed, I drove back home with Mom and booked my next test the same day. During my second test, I took what I learned from my previous test and didn't go 20 kilometers over the speed limit because it's illegal and dangerous. I did end up passing my second driver's test without any points lost for speeding. Not all failures look the same either. Our football team, despite winning the provincial championship last fall, has actually had a long history of losing. It took about 3 years of losses, 3 years of working on skills, and 3 years of working as a team to finally get this victory. Now let's talk obstacles. Some things you can expect, and some things are a curveball you didn't see coming. Well, obviously COVID-19 was a huge obstacle in not only ours, but everyone else's lives as well. I feel we have talked about this enough, and for the rest of our lives, we are the notorious grad class of 2020 because of it. And just a moment to brag as a side note, I am very proud to be Eaton School's first valedictorian who didn't really finish school. I could have filled this speech with obstacles the world has had and continues to struggle with this year. To name a few: political issues, blockades, strikes, racial tensions, and climate change debate. Individually, we had overcome disappointments, anxieties, and all those usual obstacles one faces when growing up. But the obstacle is less the focus than the way we handle it. I am very proud of this group beside me because I know they have the strength to rise above whatever else may come our way. As a 5-foot-tall wing in basketball, I get that many things feel bigger than they are. I have learned the great satisfaction of facing a giant, and if not winning, at least having put up a good fight. I have also learned that there is no joy without gratitude, and even now, my list of things I am grateful for is much longer than those I can complain about. In short, each of us has had our own fair share of obstacles, and we have learned from these hard times, and they've made us grow into the people you see on this stage today. I believe that each of my fellow graduates will find success. Cade because of his passion, dedication, and hard work that he puts into the sport he loves. Kalen because of his commitment to learning and his understanding that it is okay to ask for help. Turner because of his humor, positivity, and confidence. Jackson because of his kindness, intelligence, and humility. Ethan because of his loyalty, persistence, and straightforwardness. Hayden because of his calmness, friendliness, and persistence. Swan because of her creativity, compassion, and exuberant energy. And finally, my twin Hannah because of her incredible work ethic, aggressive competitiveness, and her generosity. It has been a pleasure and a privilege to be able to grow up with my classmates in this school and in this town. I was especially fortunate to have my twin sister with me for my entire life. Some people think that being a twin means you always have to share birthdays, bedrooms, etc., but I see it as much more, because it is a blessing to go through life with such an amazing sister by my side, and it's something I am very fortunate to have. We have continued to help each other grow into adults and push each other to be the best versions of ourselves. Thank you to the community and school for always being so supportive of us as teams and as individuals. I am looking forward to this next chapter in our lives, and I wish best of luck to my fellow graduates, the class of 2020. Thank you.